There's extra options, so it was this huge estimate conference that was sort of fun, but wasn't really my channel computer. But after the vice residents putting out a lot of them to come with the effects of the region. Yeah, one fun fact for you.
Wow.
So what we conversation. Yeah.
Maybe.
So how's everybody? Good to hear. So I've got a relatively full agenda for today. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Before I dive into the rest of everything, I only was able to get to certain groups last class session with your assumptions and reversed assumptions for product development. Does anybody else want to sort of volunteer your what you came up with from last time? Are you okay with me not calling on you? I don't want you to do work and then not be recognized for it. Okay, seeing no hands, I'm going to assume that you're okay with not being called out. Yes. I see a hand. Oh. How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying before, AV, I've got a relatively full agenda. I'm getting started now. I wasn't able to get to all of the groups last time with your exercise you did on assumptions and then reversing the assumptions for product development. Did anybody else want to give me what you came up with? I don't want to have you do the exercise and then not get recognized for it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so our company is Rosemont Health and Fitness. Some of the, do you remember what the words exactly you used on this?
So what I said was I wanted you to think about what your assumptions are about the product or service, and then how could you reverse those assumptions?
All right. So one of the assumptions that we had is that the people coming to the gym are coming because they want to lose weight. And then we flipped that and we said, what if they were there? They were rehabbing. They're doing physical training, rehabbing from an injury.
I like it.
Yeah. And then another one we had is that people would buy the membership because they want, they're going to use the machine. So we said, what if instead of just using the machines and having classes, we could also set up personalized meal plans? I think that would also help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are some of the things we have.
I like it. Both of them kind of go to a new space that you hadn't thought about with the original assumption, so I like it. Anybody else from AV that I didn't get to last time? Anybody from Bakersfield want to go that I wasn't able to get to last time? Okay, then we'll get started with the next topic on the agenda, which is patents, trademarks, and copyrights. So go ahead and open up the PowerPoint here. And remember that I have to put in my credentials. So, there's three main types of intellectual property that are relevant for small businesses: patents, copyrights, and trademarks. Patents have to do with a physical thing of one kind or another, or with a process of one kind or another. Trademarks have to do with a brand name or an image of some kind, and then copyrights have to do with intellectual property that you can't otherwise touch, like written books, software programs, musical compositions, things like that. So these are the three types of intellectual property I want to talk about a little bit, and then we're going to do a little bit of an exercise on what's called a prior art search for patent applications. So first of all, patents are a contract between the government and the inventor for 20 years of protection. They grant the holder of the patent protection to the idea. Types of patents: utility for processes, machines, or compositions. Design for the physical appearance of something. It could be a plant, actually, or a new species of plant, new type of DNA for animals. It could be a business method of some kind. And the organization that usually adjudicates all this stuff is called the World Intellectual Property Organization. So many of you may think that patent applications are really expensive and require in-depth legal advice. Sometimes they do, but the basic process of applying for a patent is pretty cheap and does not require expensive lawyers. It costs $500 to file a patent application, and the most important thing you need to do is do a prior art search, which is searching various patent databases to see what patents have already been registered that are similar to your idea. So the databases that are useful for that are listed here for your reference later on. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office's patent database, Google Patents, and a nice website called Free Patents Online. I've also listed a nice sort of Patents for Dummies kind of book here that you can reference as well, called the Complete Patent Kit by a person named James Rogers. Good book on patents. The key thing on patent applications is they need to be useful, non-obvious, and novel. Now, a lot of times the actual filing of the paperwork requires statements about usefulness, non-obviousness, and novelty that are best done by a lawyer, but the prior art search, the legwork to find other patents that are similar to yours, you can do on your own and significantly reduce the amount of lawyer fees that you need to pay for, because you don't need to be paying a $200 an hour lawyer to do a prior art search. You can do that yourself. So we're going to get into that in an exercise in a little bit. But let me talk about the two other. Yes, Sam.
Can you explain a little more what you mean by novel in that sense? I get the non-obvious part of usefulness. What do you mean by
Would it be like a novelty item, so like the Scrub Daddy that like Shark Tank has, like you gave a normal sponge, but like the Scrub Daddy is like a more novelty item?
Not so much novelty item, but it needs to be unique. It needs to be something that has not been done before. That's what novel means.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has to be actually new. If you sell your product before you get a patent, you can't get a patent.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah. If you apply for patent pending, you can sell while in the process of getting a patent. But if it's on the market already, you can't get a patent.
There you go. That was actually news for me too. You guys are not the only ones that learn as the course of this class progresses. Thank you. What was your name again?
Jesse.
Jesse, thank you for that clarification. Talking a little bit about trademarks and copyrights as well before we get to the exercise. Trademarks are a distinguishing word, name, or symbol of some kind. The benefits of registering a trademark are that you have exclusive rights. You're entitled to sue if anybody else uses the copyrighted phrase or image without your permission, and you're able to prevent importation into the country of goods with a similar brand name or name to your trademark. You're also able to use the little R symbol in your branding. Trademark applications are even cheaper than patent applications. They cost $245. They also require a prior art search, which is called a registerability search. I've listed two different databases that are relevant for registrability searches, both the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office again, and then a database called the World Intellectual Property Organization brand database. Very good for finding trademark prior names and images that have been registered as a trademark of some kind. And then there's a nice YouTube instructional video here that I've left for you. There's a couple of things that you can't apply for a patent on. You can't apply for, in general, you can't apply for a patent on profane language. You can't apply for a patent on a government insignia. That's covered by other laws. You can't apply for a patent on a living individual unless that individual gives you permission. So I couldn't, for example, apply for a patent on Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp has to give permission for me to apply for that patent. Or
trademark.
Trademark, yes, trademark, not patent.
You can never patent Johnny Depp.
Yeah, well, no. Well, I suppose we could if we figured out like how to sequence his DNA.
I was under the impression that DNA was specifically excluded from patent.
It could be right now, but the spirit of patents would cover that, even if it's not currently part of the law.
Well, I think it's been there for a while because there was an issue when they were doing the genome project.
It very well could be. So perhaps in the excluded categories for patents, we can't patent people, which is probably good for various ethical reasons. But trademark, I could theoretically trademark the name Johnny Depp or the image of Johnny Depp, but that has to only be with his permission. You can't trademark something that's just descriptive. So I can't trademark something like good food or yummy food. It's got to be more original than that. And I can't patent or trademark, I can't trademark my last name. So my last name Woods, I can't trademark that. There's too many other people with the same name. But other than that, you can trademark just about anything. Copyrights prevent others from copying original works of authorship. Software was added to this law in 1980. The copyright is registered with the Library of Congress, and it requires basically pretty simple, a form from the Patent and Trademark offices, 2 copies of the work, and a fee, which is, and by the way, it covers the life of the author plus 50 years. So it covers even after the death of the author for the descendants of the author. The fee is only $20 to file for a copyright. And the biggest thing that you have to do with the copyright is you have to create it in a tangible medium. So as soon as I write a book and I save it on my laptop or I publish it somewhere on the internet, it has been saved in a tangible medium. As soon as I send a digital or a physical copy of that to the Library of Congress, to the Trademark Office, it's also fixed in a tangible medium. Hang on one second. Oops, wrong direction. I just noticed that I'm a little bit off center for AV. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. So, in order for the copyright application to be accepted, it needs to be sufficiently original. Like I said, it needs to be fixed in a tangible medium with copies deposited with copyright.gov. And in general, copyrights fall into one of the following categories. Could be literary works, including software. Could be music of some kind. Could be dramatic works. Could be choreography. Could be graphical works or pictures of whatever kind. Movies and other audio-visual things are covered under copyrights. Photos, as long as there's sufficient control that's been exercised by the photographer. Sound recordings and architectural works, all covered under copyright law. Copyright is the easiest of the three to apply for and also the cheapest. And this covers, like I said, non-tangible ideas like, literary works and music and dramas and things like that, including software, probably most importantly for this class. So that is my relatively brief lecture on the three different types of intellectual property. I want to play for you all a short webinar that I've put together on how to do patent and trademark prior art searches. And then the reason I asked you to bring your laptops is because we're going to do a little exercise trying to do a bit of a prior art search. And then we'll end today with a bit of a lecture on project management for your projects. So, webinar, next on the agenda. In general, I'm going to try to remind you guys ahead of time which webinars to watch before we come to class so that we can just use class to focus on live stuff rather than the recorded webinars, but I forgot to do that this time, so I don't have a book. I don't have a textbook for this class, but I do have a number of webinars that I've put together that I want you guys to watch. So there's at the very top of the document section of Blackboard, there's a Word document that says webinars on it. I'm going to open that up right now and put in my credentials again. This is the set of webinars that I want you to watch over the course of the semester. And just FYI for everybody in here, next week we're going to be talking about web development, so I want you to look at these first three webinars, Photoshop, Dreamweaver, and Wix. I want you to look at those over the weekend before next week so we can use the time in class most profitably next week. But since I did not remind you of that beforehand, I'm going to play about a 12-minute webinar for you right now on patent and trademark research.
Okay, so the fifth webinar that I want to record here is just a little bit of information, excuse me, on how to do patent and trademark searches. Again, I went over this in class a little bit, but I'm not quite satisfied that I got the details enough. So I just want to go over a couple things. There's three databases that I think are particularly good to go into and start looking for other patents that are close to the product you're trying to patent, so that you don't reinvent the wheel by literally inventing and trying to patent something that's already been invented. And more importantly, because there's a tremendous amount of patents out there. Even if you do find something that's similar, using that document then to tailor your own patent application to make sure that what you are registering and patenting is sufficiently different that it's approved. So the first place is the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office's patent database. So we're going to open that link up first. You just click on search for patents here, and it'll bring you down to several different resources that the Patent and Trademark Office gives you for searches. I'm going to bring us down in particular to the Patent Application Full Text and Image Database area, and we're going to go to Advanced Search. And you'll notice here that there's a whole bunch of different field codes down here that you can search on, and they give you a little bit of an example of how to use the syntax. So,
say again, Brittany? Oh, hey, AV, can you see this? Yeah, they've got one camera with me and another camera with the screen. Isn't it?
TTL, for example, is the actual title.
I don't know if there's a patent on that, actually.
We type in TTL /Neil. That will bring back all patents filed with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office since 2001. This database actually covers things since 2001, which gives you a pretty good sense for your immediate patent competition. If you find something in here that's similar to you, you can use some of the numbers that are registered in that patent to go back and refer to older patents that may also be relevant to yours. But in the meantime, the place you want to start with is this 2001 onward database. So you'll notice we've gotten 4,217 hits on the title needle. So that's a lot. We want to start narrowing this down as much as we can to just find what we're looking for. So we go back again. We could either, we do a number of things. We could put in and not, which will make sure that whatever is in the parentheses after that phrase and not is not included in the title. So we put in so and search. For 42 something, that's down to 4169. That didn't help us a whole lot. But let's look at some of the things here and see what we can start taking away. So if we were actually looking for a very particular type of needle for diabetic application, we may want to take away everything that is not involved in that in some way. So this roller bearing thing here, this doesn't look very much like it has anything to do with diabetic insulin application. So let's go in and put in and not. And then we're going to put in quotes, roller bearing. And we search again. You'll notice that first search result there with roller bearing is now gone, and we're down a little bit more to 4109. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to get down to a small amount of patents quickly. You really just have to continue going in and subtracting things that you don't want until you get down to the patent applications that are left that are the most similar to what you're trying to register. So it's kind of a time-consuming process, but the nice thing is that it doesn't require any professional expertise or a law degree to do it, so you can save a lot of money on your patent lawyer by doing a lot of this legwork yourself, and then just use your patent lawyer to bless the final application at the end to make sure everything looks good. So that's what I wanted to show about the Patent and Trademark Office. If we go back to our other databases here, Google Patents is really great. It's actually a lot more user-friendly than the Patent Office. And we can do similar kinds of things in that search. So if we go in here and type in needle, we've got 8 million results. So again, a little bit different from the patent website, but for Google, if you use the minus term, just a little symbol minus, and then whatever comes after that minus, it'll take out anything that has that in it. So manufacturing needle coke, so we don't really need needle coke. So why don't we type in needle and then minus in quotes needle coke, and type enter again. And you'll notice that needle coke result is out of here, and we are also down to 2 million instead of 8 million results. So that's an improvement. Looks like this sewing machine, we were looking for something for diabetic applications, so we're going to take out minus sew and star. I'll take out everything with the word sew in it. That brings us down to 1 million. Again, you just have to go through this process. Oh, look, it didn't take out the result we wanted to take out. Well, that's no good. Looks like the star won't work there. So if we take out sewing, that took out the result there. So you're just going to have to keep using the minus sign in order to get your search down further and further until you're left with the patents that are most relevant. Now, Google is so good at finding results, you may never get it down to a manageable number, but if you get it down relatively small, the search results that pop up on the first, 5-ish pages are going to be the ones that are most relevant. So if you can get this down to something in the hundreds, you're doing pretty good. And then you can surf through the first couple pages and read those, and then quickly browse through some of the other pages and see if there's any titles that look important, and then bring it down to a little bit more manageable project. So finally, there is a third database resource, Free Patents Online. Similar, a little bit different. I'm not going to go into it right now, but I do want to point out to everybody that that is another good place to find patent search information. So, next thing I wanted to go over is trademark searches. There's two resources in particular that I wanted to point you to here. First of all is, similarly, Patent and Trademark Office, but this time a trademark database instead of patent database. So, we're going to click on the Search Trademark database here. And we're going to scroll down and open up the Trademark Electronic Search System. And we can do all kinds of different searches. I'm going to choose here word and design mark search that in free form. So that allows you to construct the search logic yourself, and also will search both the word and the design mark databases. They're actually two separate databases. So we'll click here. And I've already got something from my last search. I just tried to come up with a name that I thought sounded cool and interesting. Maybe somebody would want to patent that. And I thought, Imaginate, that sounds cool. Create, imagine. I've never heard of a company that's called that. So let's find out if there's any other companies called Imaginate. Submit query. Well, actually, there's 12 companies that have, in some way or another, registered the word Imaginate. So you'll notice there's multiple ones that are live in their live dead status. So some of these things, you'll notice there's a couple companies here that had at one point registered a trademark for Imaginate, but it's no longer active. So you've got two Imaginates in particular that are active here. And if we look at each of those, one of these is for a catering services company. The other is for a construction services company. So actually, there's two different companies that are using this name, but they're in completely different industries. So it's not necessarily a deal breaker if you find a trademark which is similar to what you're looking for. Again, just like the patent searches, you need to find out exactly what it's about and submit a trademark application that is different enough that what you are submitting is unique to the space you are trying to go for. So just one more thing that I want to point out about trademark searches. There's another database here. If we open that up, this is a great global brand database. It gives you a lot of information. Just real simply here, if we type in Imaginate again, type search, you'll notice there's 34 results here. So some of them, obviously, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is just the United States. So you've got other countries as well that have something registered with Imaginate in one way, shape, or form. Some of these may be duplicative. You'll notice some of them are inactive, some of them are pending, but this is just another place to go to get trademark information, get an idea of who else out there has registered something similar to you. So that's a relatively quick one on patents and trademarks. That is all I wanted to say about that. So coming up next is general Actually, I think next I'm going to do competitive searches, and then we'll go on to a couple other searches, and I'll call it a quarter for the webinars.
So that is the webinar that if I had been a little bit more organized, I would have had you watch before class today. Let me go ahead and pull back up some information here for everybody to be able to see. Here's the exercise I want to do, and that's why I asked you to bring your laptops. I want you guys to try and do a patent prior art search for a particular type of venture that some of my students in my other class are working on right now. And I choose that not because it's my favorite one, but because it's relatively straightforward to try and do a patent search for. It's basically a company that, let me see if I can use blue instead. Well, I could if I had one that actually works. Nope. So, can you see that? Okay. So this is drones. That's okay. I'll explain it. I want the folks at AV to go to this uspto.gov link, and I want the folks in Bakersfield to go to google.com/patents and start doing a search for drones or unmanned aerial vehicles, they're also called, that do data collection for agriculture. Do that for about 10 minutes, and what I want you to look for in particular is which search terms worked well, which search terms did not work well, and what are some of the results you found that you think are interesting, okay? So take about 10 minutes to try and do that exercise. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll talk again about your projects.
Data collection for what?
Data collection for the agriculture sector. So these are drones or unmanned aerial vehicles that do data collection for the agriculture sector. Yeah, but it's already set up for you that it's just going to search patents. Look for patents that are related to drones or unmanned aerial vehicles that do data collection for the agriculture industry.
Agriculture. So I wrote the profession plan. Can you check if you can see it now?
What's your name again?
Muhsin Al-Fateh.
Huh?
Muhsin Al-Fateh.
I got it. I remember getting it earlier today.
Yeah, but you reply me to my email that you can't open it.
Oh, okay, here, let me check again right now. Sorry.
I just like copy and paste, then forward.
Let me check quick. That is working again now. No, I can't see it yet. Let me try again.
Yes. I just purchased the game. The game, the first time.
Uh-huh.
Purchased it today, but I need to practice it and see what. Because I never use it.
Yeah, that's you'll get used to it as you use it more.
How much it worth? Like how many points? How much points?
It's worth yeah, I can read it now. See.
Oh, okay. So if you have any questions, just...
I'll let you know if I have any questions. This is fine.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
What kind of data collection of what? Of soil, of
Soil levels, moisture levels, wind, yes.
What's the ideal search result? Like, what's the number? Below 1,000? Search result?
I think if you can get it down below 1,000, you're doing great.
About like below 500.
That's even better.
What if you're at 8?
At 8?
Whoa.
That's good.
No, this is concealed. Oh my God, I see you.
So let's take about 5 more minutes to wrap up what you've been able to figure out so far, and then we'll talk about it a bit, okay?
keyboard letters are being they were trying to also
Yes.
I just sent my professional information now.
Uh-huh.
Could you and I wrote that one with management 4,000 words.
When did you send it?
Just now.
I haven't received it yet.
Maybe a couple.
Yeah, it may take a couple minutes.
Yeah.
If I don't, if I ask,
At the end of the class, I'm gonna ask you.
yeah, ask me again at the end of class.
I will.
So that's the reason kind of I was like afraid about it. Because like seeing unusual on that and everyone wants it.
Okay, so let's wrap up on the searches. Let me go to AV first. What search terms did you find were particularly helpful or not helpful?
Drones is not helpful.
Not and yes. So why was drones not helpful?
It's under remote. Because when you couple it with agriculture or farming, and what we're looking at, there are 0 results.
Interesting.
Drones and drones, singular.
Yeah, I see another hand back there.
I found something that I think it wasn't particularly said for agriculture, but I believe it could be used for agriculture.
And what's that? What'd you find?
I found a drone-based microbial analysis system.
Yeah, that's in the ballpark. And what search terms did you use to find that?
First we used drone, and then we took out missile, and then we took out landing and docking. And then we had like about 30 results, and we looked through that.
Okay, cool. So, did you try something else after you tried drone, the first group?
Yeah, we ended up going to agriculture and remote. And narrowed that down to 19 choices, and the 10th one on the list was called Methods and Apparatus for Precision Agricultural Operations Utilizing Real-Time Kinematic Global Positioning Systems. And it's designed to, it's actually been around since '98. To go out and view the field remotely, what we would call a drone, they obviously just call it that then, can tell what needs to be seeded, where it needs to be seeded. It can do remote weeding. So I didn't even get through everything it does.
Oh, those are two great results, though. Cool. Anybody else from AV want to offer something up? Okay. How about Bakersfield? What'd you guys find useful and not useful as search terms? Sam, go ahead, and then Luigi.
I didn't get quite down to one result, but I'm in like the low hundreds. It was just drone agriculture. I did minus military and missile as well. Took out UAV and then typed in data collection. And the one that I got down to, I think was the same as what you said, was the apparatus assisted sensor data collection, and it's a patent for a sensor that attaches to a drone. And it's used.
Say it again.
It's just an apparatus that attaches to the bottom of a drone, and it's used like via wireless connection. It helps do not land surveying, but data collection for agriculture.
Cool. That's also directly relevant. Luigi, and then it's Israel, right?
Yeah, Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we I don't remember where we started at, but we ended up with UAVs
plus agricultural, plus data collection, plus pests, plus moisture. And the pest one was what really got us down to an airborne biota monitoring and control system, which is an apparatus that attaches to the bottom of a drone, and you put certain insects inside of the apparatus.
Oh, wow.
It scans those, and then is also scanning the field below it, and so it can detect the same pests that are contained within
Oh, wow. Cool.
apparatus, and then show you where those are at and whether or not they're good or bad, and what you need to do to the field effectively.
Very cool.
Pretty useful for PCAs.
Yeah, totally. Israel, what'd you come up with?
Hold on, I think I was wrong. No, he came across techniques. So it's like a formulated plan about land surveying and data collection. So it's the same thing, it's just not a physical object.
Yeah, it's a process.
But it's a process, yeah, exactly.
Do I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, a modeling framework for evaluating the impact of weather conditions on farming and harvest operations, which applies real-time field-level weather data and forecasts of meteorological and climatological conditions together with user-provided and or observed feedback of present state of harvest-related conditions to agronomic models. There's more, but I'm tired.
No, that's okay. That's okay. That's a good start. So, what I think that's a good example of. It's a good example of a process which is probably much broader than what this is going to be.
The key sentence here, what it does more than.
Yeah.
This is the last one, all right.
Go ahead.
So it's to analyze crops, plant soils, and resulting agricultural commodities, and provides harvest advisory outputs to a diagnostic support tool for users to enhance farming and harvest decision-making, whether by providing pre, post, or in situ harvest operations and crops.
Cool. So it sounds to me like that's probably going to be useful to refer to in the patent application and say, out of all of the things that this patent process does, we only do this part. So sometimes when you identify other patents that are similar in the application, you need to point out how what you do is different than that. And some of the things that that process entails are also part of what this drone does, but most of it is not. And it's a good example of a sort of overlapping Venn diagrams document. Anybody else in Bakersfield want to offer up some other search results that you found, or terms that worked well or didn't work well? Okay, well, we got about, 20 minutes to go. It's just enough time for my lecture on project management. So, shifting gears from where's McChesney? Okay. Oh, I have to rush to my real estate course for 6:30. Okay, don't want to miss anything. She was asking, I just got an email from her asking if it's going to be recorded, and yes, the answer is yes. Anyway, so shifting away from that, back to your projects, the way this course is going to go the next several weeks is going to be a lesson on some particular skill set in small business management, and then application of that in an exercise of one kind or another in here, and then periodically we'll touch base. We'll use some class sessions to touch base about how your projects are going. So I want to talk at a big picture level about what I'm looking for from you guys in terms of how I want you to manage your projects. So this is a nice little presentation that a good colleague and mentor of mine put together a couple years ago on project management. Success can be avoided only if you try hard enough. I think this is a good point that if you stick to the process that you're supposed to with project management, your projects are going to be successful. If you deviate from it, then they're going to have problems. So topics that I'm going to go over here quickly: the benefits of project management and the process itself, planning, execution, and tools. Here's a great statement of what I'm actually looking for from you guys. What I need is someone who can take charge of this whole infernal mess and keep me informed as to what is going on and make sure that it happens on time, on budget, and works. What I'm really looking for from you guys is to make sure, okay, on budget is maybe a little bit off for the core purposes of this class because we don't really have a budget, but you've got about 7 different deliverables that I want you to put together by the end of the semester, and I want you as a group, you as individuals in that group, to make sure that you get that done by the end of the semester and keep me updated on your progress. So I don't want to have to worry about whether you're getting these things done or not. I want you to take ownership over make sure to get them done. If you're having problems with them, ask me sooner rather than later what I can, let me know sooner rather than later what problem you're having and what help you could use from me to get things done. And we'll roll things along as well as possible. Obstacles that normally come up for project management. Project complexity. A lot of your projects you're going to sort of have a blank stare at some point like, what do I do next? There seems like a lot of things to do and I'm not sure where to start. Your customers, in some cases it's you guys yourselves. You're going to find that as the project evolves, that the needs are going to change. Sometimes you're actually going to have an external customer that determines, well, let's work more on marketing or let's work more on HR. It may shift over the course of the semester, and you're going to have to deal with that. Organizational restructuring is not really an issue here as much as it is out in the real world, but if for some reason I got instructions from the dean that we needed to achieve certain goals with the class that I didn't have planned into this class, then that would be an example of organizational restructuring coming in and changing your projects. I doubt that that's going to happen though. Project risks. Sometimes you try something and it just doesn't work. That's going to be a part of your project as well. Changes in technology probably aren't going to be relevant over the course of the semester, but a longer period of time they are. Project management is a series of activities that consume resources, have funding limits, in our case practically zero. If there are things that cost a little bit of money, bubble them up to me. We'll see what we can do about them. But in general, the funding limit on these projects is zero. And they have a specific objective to be completed within certain specifications. Complex coordination of separate entities with schedule and cost constraints. So you're going to need to be coordinating with the client, coordinating with me, coordinating with the rest of the group members. The benefits of project management, identifying functional responsibilities to ensure that all activities are accounted for. So sitting down as a group and planning out, these are the tasks that need to happen, and assigning those tasks to people. And if for some reason person number 1 is not able to do it, then you still have a list of all the tasks that need to be done. Identification of time limits, very important to plan on when to get your draft deliverables done so that I have enough time to give you feedback on them. Measurement of accomplishment against plans. This is one of the big reasons why I want you to update me each week on how you're doing so that I can let you know whether you're on point or not. That also, for the same reason, it helps me to work with you to identify problems early so that we can correct things. And sometimes we may have to adjust the project goals in order to be more realistic. But if we're managing the project properly and reporting each week, then we're gonna be able to set new objectives in a like reasonable time frame. Good plans shape good decisions. That's why good planning helps to make elusive dreams come true. The better you plan the tasks that have to happen and time frames and deadlines and who is responsible for what, the more successful your projects are going to be. So I really need you guys to take ownership over that planning process. Identifying the tasks and activities, like I said, deriving estimates both on what you, in this case, it's both cost estimates, but more importantly, getting deliverables done in a draft format sooner rather than later, so that we can see what is that deliverable going to be able to achieve by the end of the semester. Identifying dependencies. So, for example, you can't really put the financials together until you've talked to the sample customers. You can't talk to the sample customers until you put the website together. So understanding what has to happen first, second, third, and making sure that you've planned accordingly for that is something I need you to do. And related to that, once you know what has to happen first, second, third, I need you to plan so that those things happen in order. Assigning resources, basically in this case, has to do with assigning which member of the team is going to do what and making sure that responsibilities are clear, and having a baseline work plan in place. Estimating. Always allow for contingencies. So you should assume that if you think the website is going to be done by the end of next week, assume that it's actually going to have. Assume that I'm going to come back to you and say, edit this, change this, change this. So get things done earlier rather than later, so that we can talk about contingencies and edits that you need to make to each of the deliverables. Base things on some kind of estimating factor, like the number of web pages that you're going to need to develop, the number of customers that you need to reach out to, the number of line items that you're going to need to have in the budget for forecasts, things like that. Get input from all the team members. And that's a funny cartoon that I will not dwell on right now. Yeah, so do I. But I think that one is a little bit off base. Basically, the manager asking about whether things are getting done twice as fast because he doubled the staff, and basically the second person in the staff being completely useless. So no, it's not going any faster because the second person is completely useless for the task. If the project can't be completed in time, please consider managing the scope, bringing things down, letting me know earlier that you don't think you're going to be able to get all the deliverables done in a reasonable way. Let me know and let the rest of the group members know what's missing, what's needed in order to be able to get the deliverables done on time. Complete the critical path tasks, or the things that are most important, more quickly, and prioritize those. Pipeline or push off until later larger tasks, or chop them up into smaller pieces. And whenever possible, decouple tasks. So you can finish the website without having to. You can finish the rest of the website without having to finish the contact information page, or you can finish the rest of the website without having to have complete descriptions of the product. Those can come later and have placeholders for the short term. On a regular basis, gather and assess project status. Like I said before, continually evaluate whether things are feasible or not, and if they're not, think about what is feasible within the constraints that you have with your group. Take action to correct deviations from the plan whenever possible, and work your plan to reflect the actual resources and task changes that occur in the project. So as different people are responsible for things, as you need me to help with things, update that in the weekly updates that you give me. Victory goes to the player who makes the next to last mistake. It's true. You're going to have problems with each of these projects, and really the project that tried one more time and overcame one more mistake is going to be the project that's most successful. So just recognize that you're going to have mistakes, you're going to have problems, and you just need to persevere and deal with them as best you can. Corrective action, sometimes changing the timing or frequency of meetings. So bubbling things up to me more often rather than less is going to be a good way to fix things. Perhaps switching around which members of the team are responsible for which things sometimes can help. Sometimes just planning on having to do more work outside of class because you're not getting done what you needed to do. Really making sure to focus on the most critical tasks. So don't get lost in the fact that you have 7 deliverables to do. Just get something done for the website first and then build on it. Get something done for an initial contact with customers and then build on it. And wherever possible, engage outside resources. You can engage outside resources from me, but also please feel free to talk to contacts that you know about potential customers, about expert advisors, about budget estimates. Wherever you can, use your own networks to reach out to people. And if necessary, change the project scope and the schedule with me. Key things to remember: there needs to be quick, effective methods of conflict resolution, so absolutely critical giving me a weekly update on what's going on so that I can help with any problems that you come up on your projects. Good communication channels and free access between team members and with me. All team members should have input into the planning process, so make sure that everybody is participating and you're not just sort of having 1 or 2 people do most of the work and the other group members kind of on the fringes. Make sure that everyone's involved, and I need you to be committed to the project. So that is a brief overview of what I'm expecting project-wise. Next week we're going to talk about web development. After that is done, I want to start getting weekly updates on your projects as of the end of next week. So if you look at the back of the syllabus, you'll see the 7 things that I want you to develop by the end of the quarter. First thing is a website. Excuse me. I think second thing is customer interviews. Third thing is an expert advice contact. Fourth thing is competitor profiles. Fifth thing is an industry profile. Sixth thing is budget estimates, and the 7th thing is an elevator pitch and executive summary. So those are the 7 things that you need to have done by the end of the semester, and the earlier you get them done, the more feedback I can give you on them, the better they're going to be. Okay? One last thing before we go. I've still got some people that are not assigned to a group yet. So is Lily Tavera there right now? In AV? Okay, Lily is not there. How about Elaine?
She's going to be in the cell phone group.
Oh, Elaine's going to be in the cell phone group?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So we just got to assign Lily to somebody, to a group there. Now, Bakersfield, Abdurrahman Al-Qudur, Abdurrahman Al-Ihani. Where is he? I saw him earlier today. Huh? Is he? I thought he was going to be in the... Is he? Okay, let me put a... Antonio Cruz. Malik. Salman. Okay, by the way, I did get your thing. I just saw it. Luigi, you're going to be part of the Edible Garden, right?
Yep.
And then Martin's there. And Mashari. Okay, so, yes. What's your name? Huh? What's your last name? I thought you were going to work on the Taylor Ranch project.
Oh, I just didn't know if anything was shown on Monday when I wasn't here. So.
No. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so... Okay, hang on one second. What group is that again? That's the restaurant, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got, for those of you whose names I called out, we got 2 additional ideas that I need to match you up with. Martin, do you want to explain your idea a little bit? You sure? You had an idea about that app, you know? An app to inventory home groceries? You want to do what? Okay, cool. Then I will put you on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the rest of you. Yes. Tejon Ranch? Okay. What's that? Yes, go ahead. Hang on. Bakersfield, hang on a second. AV, go ahead.
I wanted to make sure you got my personal development plan, because last time you said you didn't have it, and so I sent it. I just wanted to make sure you had it.
What is your name again?
Nicholas Braden.
Yes, I did get it.
All right. BB Khan?
Yeah, BB, I got yours too. And, yes, the other hand. Milton, I got yours as well. Through LinkedIn, I got that as well.
The slides from tonight, are they already on Blackboard?
Yes, the slides from tonight are on Blackboard already. Okay, so, Mashari, you had an idea about a food truck?
Yeah.
I like that. Antonio? What's that? Okay. I got to make sure I don't have too many people on that project. Hang on a second. Okay, that's cool. So that leaves Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman, what do you think about working on a food truck project? Okay, I'm going to put you on that with Mashari, okay? Okay, that's it. Cool.
I have a question. So,
yes.
For the project for the food truck, how many?
Yeah. I may find one more person, but it may just be the 2 of you.
Wouldn't be allowed for?
Huh?
Wouldn't be allowed for 2, only 2? Because the other groups, like 7, 6 people, at least 5 people.
It'll be a little bit more work, but...
Yeah, I know we're gonna create a website and do the other papers as we have done it last semester. Yep.
Yeah.
Only 2.
I think you'll be fine. What did you have? What did you?
My question is different. I just want to ask you about the if you received my development plan.
What's your name?
Mohammed Al-Sheba. I sent it to you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Al-Sheba? Yeah, I got it. Okay, I got it. No problem.
So what do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think you'll be fine. I'm really psyched to have that group. You know?
I like the idea, but the numbers of the group, it will increase with the time.
Well, actually, now they have them back home. If you get a news.
I know.
Yeah, they have all the younger people now. They do trucking.
Well, let me put it this way. We can either do that or.
Because I heard some people say they like the idea. I don't know if they're gonna join us or not.
ما في أحد بيجي الشغل واجد أنا ماخذ معاه كلاس.
Well, I tell you what. Right now, I've only got 4 people on the edible garden project, so if you don't want to have just a two-person group,
Yeah, we could join them.
you can join that.
Okay.
Everyone just sign in with their names.
What do you,
And I've only got 4 people on the gas station app project.
Okay.
So would you rather work on the food truck, or would you rather join one of those groups?
I would rather join one of these groups.
That means you have to join another group.
Do you want to hold it until Monday?
Yeah, like, see, like this, like somebody like.
If somebody would like to join us.
Okay.
Or.
Yeah, why don't you talk to your classmates, see if there's anybody else that wants to join you?
We'll try.
If not, we can switch for Monday, okay?
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank you.
Who's next?
It's okay. I have just I want to mention that I emailed you before the class.
What's that?
I mentioned that I emailed you before the class development.
Yes. What's your name?
No.
Hang on.
Just want to make sure you can open it or not.
Tell me your name again.
Newman. N-U-M-A-N.
Yes. Now,
No,
now you.
because you got one that 2 days ago, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. I got it. I was able to open it.
I'm asking you about my friend. He sent me a message for you. He said like Rashid Al-Hushan. Do you know him? He asked him about the recommendation. He said how long is it gonna take?
Oh, I'm gonna try and do it this weekend.
Okay. He just asked me to.
Yeah, I haven't forgotten.
my name. Yeah,
I'm gonna try and do it this
me.
weekend. If he doesn't hear from me by Monday, tell him to call me.
Okay. All
Okay.
right, cool. Thank you.
No problem.
I'll see you.
See you later.
Have a great weekend.
You too. You too. James, how are you?
Good.
I'm doing okay.